It should now work. It should now work. It should work. Yeah, we're working. We're working. All right. For whatever reason, I must have mucked something up. Hello, everyone on YouTube. I'm live on TikTok as well. So anyone on TikTok who's watching, if you want to join in on the YouTube, go to youtube.com/web squadron. If you're watching on YouTube, stick around on YouTube, all right? Because this is where we get much richer commentary and comments and stuff coming in. I might sound like I'm in a happy mood. Today and yesterday's been a lot of soul searching, a lot of kind of thinking about what are my overall aims and a lot of my feelings. Please do let me know if the audio or the video are out of sync. They shouldn't be, but just let me know if they are. It's been, I don't want to say it's been a difficult. Hey, Mark. Yeah, cheers. It's been a little bit of I go through these phases where like something always happens. And then I either take it too seriously or I reflect on it too much or it affects me. And a lot of people say don't let these things affect you, but I don't think a lot of people understand sometimes the impact it can have on you. I don't really have imposter syndrome, but sometimes you will have things that create a bit of paranoia and doubt. A lot of you know that I just don't do videos about accessibility anymore, but doesn't mean that I still don't get hounded by people or mocked because of previous accessibility videos. Hey, Stacey, Sasha, and I said hi to Mark Harris before. And what's happened in the past is when I've done accessibility videos and stuff, some people don't like maybe how I describe the ARIA labels. Now, I do know after doing more learning that I probably overdo the ARIA labels with accessibility when it comes to web design, with the descriptions and how it could potentially give too much detail for screen readers or people. The problem is that what I say is not wrong. It's just I've overdone it. And I think that's the trouble, right? So I don't think people understand that I have not like fed you false information. What I've said is you need to consider X, Y, Z. Do you need to consider all of those things? Yes and no. You could consider some of them less than others, and other bits you could almost go, well, you don't need to do that. You could get away with it. The big problem is that if you use an accessibility, hi Web and More Blogging Academy. Hey Chris, Bangkok. The problem with online accessibility tools, you know, the ones that assess your website to say, are you hitting the standards? They will probably say your ARIA label's not right, or this ain't right, or that's not right. So some of the things I do, which you could argue aren't necessarily needed, will help you to tick the box. And that was my aim. That's where I was going, to tick the box. It's like page speed performance. Some of the things we do with, say, some WebP or preloading fonts, you could get away with. You don't have to go to the nth degree of everything. But if you want to hit like the green standard for your page speed insights and performance, sometimes you do all of these extra things. Hey, Ludovic, how you doing? Hey to Sammy, Big Daddy, Jew, and real estate as well. So there are some things that you could do that just to hit like the tick box, right? Because sometimes, right, you could have a website you built, and if anyone has experienced this or understands where I'm coming from, please chip in. You could build a website and you know it's super fast. Hey, Frank Warwick from Bali. You could have a website you built that is brilliant on the desktop, tablet, mobile, okay? It loads up. You could be outside on 3G. It loads up. It works. You click, you go here, you do that, whatever. Everything works. You've done your SEO. You've done everything perfectly. Your HTML hierarchy, you know, your tags, you've done all that. You know, your header tag, your H1, H2, H3. You've worked it through brilliantly, and the images, the color branding, everything sings and dance. And whenever people come to the website or whatever, they are satisfied and your client is satisfied. You could do all of that, right? And you could then go to Page Speed Insights, and Page Speed Insights might say the time to first byte is a little slow. or there's a bit of cumulative layout shift. It might be like 0.01, right? It's so negligible, but there is a cumulative layout shift. But you know that the website is brilliant and everything works. You could walk away and not care, or you might say, I want to tick every box because maybe a client says, someone just emailed me and said, I'm not doing very well. What the fuck? What's going on here? And you say to the client, you don't need to worry about that. It is so negligible, you don't need to worry. But the client goes, no, 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 I want to get that ticked. I want to get that sorted. So you go and sort it, and you go and then do unnecessary things to tick the box. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Does that make sense? For instance, you could have a website, and no matter whether you access it on your phone, your computer, or you're out and about, or someone halfway around the world does it, the website font loads up perfectly. The images load up, but on page speed insights, it still says image sizes are not fully um image sizes are not properly sized. Images are not properly sized up, okay? And when you look at the benefit is like literally like 10 kilobytes. Wow, big fucking deal, right? But it's a page speed insight recommendation. Or it says your web font needs to be preloaded, but when you load up, no matter how much you stare at it, you don't notice a swap. You load up and boom, the font is there. But Page Speed Insight says, no, you got to sort it out. So you have two choices. You either ignore it or you add in a bit of script or a plugin or a code snippet and to get the tick. Now, when it comes to ARIA labels, I went through the nth degree. Why? Because I used to find myself like, well, what do we do? What do I do here? Because sometimes, like, you build a website and your ARIA label, if you ran it through like a wave accessibility tool or I can't remember the names now, some other accessibility tool. Let's say you run it through, right? And it says your ARIA label's not right, your button ARIA label's not right, your ARIAs could be better defined. You could ignore it because technically your website is okay, and for screen readers, it's okay. My videos went to the nth degree. So what could you do extra on top of what you got to tick the fucking box? That's all I did. But it's very apparent that a lot of people don't like that. Okay, and I'm feeding the troll here. I am feeding the monsters, right? People will say to me, shut up, Imran, ignore it, move on, you're better than that. You do, in my opinion, I do way more than just accessibility. If you look at all of my videos, okay, what have I got? 2-something thousand, whatever now on YouTube, right? 2,500. I don't know. Shitload of videos, right? What percentage of my videos are about accessibility? I reckon I must have less than 50 videos to do with accessibility and anything like that. Right? Hey, Kays, how you doing? I got less than 50, right? But they don't like it because sometimes I've either not explained it the way they would like to explain it. Maybe they don't like it that because I give out free advice, it reduces the sales funnels and the income streams for some of them. Or they don't like it that I was overzealous. What I mean is I went to the nth degree and I was telling you that you need to do more than you need. The difference is that if you want to tick the boxes because your client expects you to, then you have to go to the nth degree. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I didn't do anything wrong. It's just that I went overboard with how much you have to do. It's like if someone says make pizza. You get the bread, you get the sauce, you sprinkle your cheese, you add your toppings, you add your jalapeno, jalapeno peppers, you add some more cheese, and you cook it and you eat it. But someone else might say, to hit the gold standard of pizza, your base has to be like this. Your sauce has to be like this. Your cheese has to be like this. I'll eat whatever pizza's made to satisfy hunger, but if you want to win an award, you'd have to go to the nth degree. Does that make sense? So I'm just going to check the comments. Hey, Mark. Um, yeah, Mark, how many clients have asked you to make sure the site? Hey, Mark, here's the interesting thing, right? Here's the interesting thing, Mark. No one has ever asked. In fact, a year ago, I went out to all of my legacy clients and I said, do you want us to make your website more accessible? Oh, by the way, I'm using my new Sony camera, ZV-E10 Mark II. What do you think of the quality of the camera? I'm just going to move this back a bit. Sorry, I'm just going to move this because it's in shot. What do you think of the camera? Hold on, what's in shot? Oh, it's my can. Sorry, that was my can then. My Pepsi Max can. What do you think of the camera? Do you like it? It basically, I've always been okay with my iPhone as a webcam, but what I've started to appreciate is that the iPhone was like really, really good. However, when you start to view like 4K footage on like a really good 4K monitor, you start to notice a bit of discrepancy. And when you watch it on TV, which is what a lot of people do, I've been putting it off for ages, a long, long, long time. Basically, I've done major, major upgrades. So the camera was £900. The extra Sigma lens was £380. Then you got to get the 4K Elgato cam link. Then you got to get some extra cables. Then you got to get a dummy battery. So let me tell you now, it's been a very expensive 6 days. Very, very, but I see it as investment. And then I had to mess around with the lighting. Like right now, you can't see it, okay? But up here, so I've got my two Godox lights. I've now got these like pretty big diffuser film things that are now that basically diffuse the light a bit better. Because what I used to get is you can still see a bit of shine on my head. And I'm not gonna lie, you know, I should like just wipe my head a little bit. This is something when you start recording, you'll appreciate a lot more. Look at the difference that makes when you like wipe your head, right? There's less of a glisten on there, right? But I was getting a very the light was so strong, I was getting like I can't recall, like a glare reflection on my forehead, right here. Ah, that hurt my eyelid. I think I just smacked my eyelid there. That wasn't clever, was it? Slightly caught my eyelid then. But yeah, oh, it's why I got this, mate. Right? Why I got this. So yeah, anyway, look. So with regards to accessibility, okay? Now, thank you, Mark. I'm 48 in 2.5 months. 48 in 2.5 months. There'll be more grace coming through. So yesterday evening and yesterday and this morning, I had to do a lot of soul searching within myself to be sure that I'm not going to let what happened yesterday get to me too much, because it did get to me. So yesterday, in total, um, four people and one today, this morning, which makes five then. Four yesterday, one today, which makes five, either directly or indirectly made comments about the way I do accessibility videos, especially with regards to the ARIA buttons. Now, all of them focused on the same point. Uh, Three of them did not name me, but you have to be fucking stupid not to make the connections, right? One person directly messaged me, basically sent me a video of someone who I don't know and said, "What do you think?" And I was like, whatever they want to say, they can do. But I always find that people whinge about stuff, but they never really show you the solution. I would like to think, right, that if you look at the videos I do, whether it's the rejuvenated font clamp calculator, whether it was the Pix refiner, WebP converter, whether it was the PDF viewer, whether it's other code snippets, how do we do XYZ in Elemental or Bricks when I used to do those videos? I like to, if I come across a problem, hey, Steve, I like to try, oh, by the way, hey, Dennis, I like to create solutions, more efficient methodologies, different ways of doing things, right? And what I found was, I've lost my train of thought now. I've lost my train of thought. What am I talking about? I've really lost my train of thought. What am I talking about? Um, so I like to create solutions. Yes, sorry. I like to create solutions. Okay. And what's happened is that some people totally ignore what I do and how much time I put into doing what I do. These videos I create they're not done in seconds. Sometimes there's tons of research on top of my other work I have. They think that I have to go back and learn more before I put out a video, right? They make sneaky comments, and it's not just them. So there's 4 people yesterday and 1 this morning. 2 of them came direct to me. 3 of them did not come direct to me, but it's the sneaky comments they make. In fact, it's 6. I need to expand it because there are some people that were part of the Web Squadron group who were also commenting. And what this is what really annoys me. They love to gaslight me. They send me screenshots or images of what someone else has said or whatever because they know it gets to me. And I've now booted some of them out of the Web Squadron group. I don't care, right, that I lose a subscriber or a member. I really don't care because if people rub me up the wrong way, I'm not going to put up with it because you know what? You have to treat social media and YouTube and forums and the people you mingle with like real fucking life, okay? When I worked in the NHS, I worked maybe in a room of about, give or take, 20 people. I would say there were 15 people in that room I liked. Hey, Sunny, I liked. I got on with them, okay? Hey to everyone who's watching on TikTok and hey to everyone who's watching on YouTube. There was maybe like 10 people that, no, 15 people I got on with, right? Work with them, go out, you can have a laugh. You can work hard in the office. You can make a comment, a bit of banter. It was good. And there would always be 5 that I didn't. Now, I still had to work with them. Hey, Tom, how you doing? You still have to work with them. You have to be professional. I will help them, and I hope they help me. Okay, hey, Palab, right? You still work with each other. But outside of work, why would I want to mingle with you? Why would I want you in my inner circle? I'm not going to share anything with you. Sometimes some of those 5 people would say, do you want, they'd send you a request on Facebook. We're going back to 2008 now, right? They would send you a request to say, do you want to be a friend? And I would ignore it. And sometimes they would challenge me on it. And I would always say, I'm very selective with what I have on there. If there are people in your Facebook group or your social media circle or your life that you don't really connect with, or it's okay to have difference of opinion, but sometimes some people will have a difference of opinion without being able to back up their opinion. Okay, we can't all be right with everything, but sometimes some people, what they do is they latch onto something and that's it. So there are some people out there, on the basis of my accessibility videos or what I said about ARIA labels, they basically are saying, fuck you for everything else you've ever done for WordPress or Elemental or what you do or how you help people on forums or videos or anything. Fuck you. That's all bullshit. Everything you do is crap. You are a liar. There are people indirectly using what I've done and saying Imran lies, Imran misleads, Imran misrepresents, Imran needs to go and learn more. Stuff like that cuts deep because you are literally taking, right, everything that I've done and saying it's not worthy because of maybe 1 or 2 things that I've ever done. And that is insulting because that's like saying, how many of you have worked in a corporate environment? And when I say corporate, it could be an office, could be a shop, maybe. Could be a business. So not just web design, where have you worked? And and you've been somewhere, say, for 20 years, and then you make one mistake, one thing, and that is it. Everyone in that office will remember you for that one thing you did wrong. And that one thing you did wrong wasn't even major. It's not like you burned a building down. That's different. It's not like you caused your business to go bankrupt. That is different. But you did one thing, right? You did one thing. Someone asked you to explain something and you explained it, but the way you explained it was either over the top, not enough, or was incorrect. And that is it. That is it. And the problem I have is that a lot of people jump on that bandwagon. And I put out a video about 7 months ago. Was it 7, 8 months ago, saying I'm done with accessibility. The problem I have, and by the way, Case, I do, by the way, Frank, sorry, you are right. You are right about chilling out, and I should do. The problem I have is that the last time I did an accessibility video was, I think, 8 months ago. Or was it 8 months ago? When was it? When did I do that accessibility video? Anyway, whenever I did it. And then I put out a video to say, I'm done with doing accessibility videos. Yesterday, including today, including a follow-on comment by someone, that comes to a total of 6. Was it this year, Mark? It might have been this year. You might be right. But it was a while ago, wasn't it, Mark? It was a while ago. They are still latching on to that video. Accessibility experts won't let it drop, even after I put out a very, in my opinion, an emotional video about how, right, I tried my best. I tried to help. I tried to build up, attention, not attention. What's the word? Keep it in the public eye. Okay. But that's it. I'm done. But what they couldn't do was just let it drop. So they still have to refer to it or make comments about it. Because you know what? They've got nothing else to talk about. Here's what I've always said, okay? Here's what I've always said. And by the way, I am not making I'm going to say something, right? And I don't please do not take this out of turn. Hey, Phil. Please don't take this out of turn, okay? GDPR, Mark. Oh, let's not go into that. So, hey, Donnell, hope you're okay. So let me explain. Let's pretend Jeffrey does a video on... Let me think now, right? Let's say Jeffrey does a form on Elementor... Not a form. A video on Elementor form from Lightbox. And I feel like... I don't think he explained it very well. I think he should have done X, Y, Z. Or whatever. Yeah? I may go and do my own. But what I won't do is put out posts or a video or even jump onto, say, Jeffrey's Facebook or Lightbox or even YouTube. I won't even go onto the YouTube comments. I won't then say, this is wrong. You need to learn more. I wouldn't do that. And by the way, I'm not saying Jeffrey has ever done that wrong. Jeffrey, if you're watching, I'm just example, right? Paul, WP Tuts. Let's say the final version of Elementor version 4 class system is all out. And then Paul does a video. Yeah? And I feel like he didn't cover it off well or right. Or he misled. Not misled. He said stuff that I feel like, oh, that's misleading. Right? I would... No, Phil. No. Phil, you're right here. It's okay to say it's wrong as long as it's constructive. Now, here's the thing, right? Here's the point I'm going to make, okay? I would then go and do my own video, whatever, but I wouldn't jump back on to go, well, Paul, or go onto his Facebook and make comments, right? This is what really pisses me off, and I made a point about this yesterday about whingers. What they do is they love to write about what someone has done wrong, but they don't tell you what to do. They don't tell you what to do. okay? They don't explain what to do, right? So let's just say Reno did a video about Elemental Mega Menu, and I felt it wasn't covered right. I would go and do my own video on Elemental Mega Menu, and I would do it, right, my way. And I would try to clarify and show how you do it. So I, in my accessibility video, talked about buttons and ARIA labels and stuff, and I did go overboard with it, right? If you don't like it, right, don't shit on it, okay? Explain what you would do with elemental buttons. Don't just do like don't just say you overdone the ARIA labels on the button. Do a video about the button, the actual widget, and explain what you would do. That's the thing. People don't do that. What they'll do is they'll criticize. So let's just say, right, okay, Lex, how you doing? So, right, look, Lex, you use bricks a lot, right, Lex? Let's say Lex does a video on bricks version 2, right? And Lex talks about the button. And Lex does his stuff. And then someone watches it and goes, ooh, that's not the right way. If they are a YouTuber, go and do your own video and show how to use it. That's what you do. That's how you teach. You don't just walk into class and go, that's fucking wrong. That's not right. But you don't then show the class how to do it with that widget. Let me just come on to some of the comments. By the way, it's all good to see. Thanks for engaging everyone who's watching as well. The thing is, though, Jooms, right, okay, this is the point I'm making, okay? I do not go out trolling these people. I don't go to look at what they've said. The trouble I have is sometimes people are sending me screenshots, which I hate. And that does gaslight me. I have to be honest, okay? People say don't get gaslit. It's very easy to say that. If you suddenly see a screenshot where someone, without naming you, is talking about something and it is fucking obvious who it's about, you're not going to walk away. Who here would? Do you know what? Let's do a poll, right? Okay. So this is for everyone who's on the live chat right now, everyone that's watching on TikTok, everyone here. Hey, Beatrice, everyone who's watching. If someone sent you a screenshot, right? Let's say you've done a video about Pepsi Max, right? And you've spoken about something to do with Pepsi Max. And then someone sends you a screenshot where someone is very critical. They don't name you, but it's very obvious it's referring to you because the complaints and issues they have can only be as a reaction to what you said and did. Would you just go, fuck it, I don't care? Or would you want to defend, or would you want to clarify? You make a good point, Lex, but is the way they do it justified? Is the way they do it the right way to do it? Because like I said, right, if I say that to make this accessible, this is how I would make it, but you disagree or you feel that I was wrong, you don't need to criticize what I said, right? You don't need to criticize what I said. What you need to do is do your own video or your own post to explain how you would do it. But you don't need to jump in and go, I'm sick of people who say do this, because now you've brought in me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, I don't think I'm making this very clear, okay? So let's say I said, this is how you make a button like this, okay? And this is how you make it. But you feel it should be made like this. But what you do is, rather than starting off with this, you're like, don't ever do this. Don't do this. This is wrong. This is shit. This is complete fucking stupid, right? This guy needs to go and learn This guy is a liar. This guy is a cheat. This guy is influencing other people to get views and they're completely motherfucking wrong, right? But then what they should have done is forget that, because when you bring that up, you've brought me into the equation. You didn't need to do that. Because I feel people who are cowards, they have to bring up the wrong person to justify what they're doing. No, you don't. You jump straight into this. You go, this is how I would do a button. This is how I would make it accessible. This is how I'd make it work. You don't need to bring up the wrong thing. You don't need to bring up the wrong thing, because now you brought me in. And I am fully aware of the people who ass lick and love the gaslighted comments. And I am slowly blocking them away from the Web Squadron group. I don't need to have them around. I don't want to be mingling with them. I have nothing to learn from them. I don't care. Because I do get very passionate about the fact that if Paul ever did a video and I didn't like it, I'm not going to jump on. I'm not going to go and be critical or whatever, because you know what? Whatever time and effort they put in, that's up to them. Because quite frankly, there are thousands of Elementor YouTubers out there. There will be some I like and there'll be others I don't. What they do is up to them. I will care about what I do and the ones I like do. Just like people who talk about how to paint. There will be some that I don't like and some I do. So what I do is I don't have to bring down the ones I don't agree with. Right? If you walk into a shop and you don't like the clothes they got, do you stand there and whinge at them, I don't like your clothes? No, you go off to another shop where you may like the clothes. What you don't do is bring down the shop. Okay, if you go in to McDonald's and the cheeseburger was really cold, you have a right to complain about it. But if you don't like the size of the cheeseburger, well, that's the size of the cheeseburger, right? If someone next door to you has got like a cheeseburger like that, that's a little bit different. But they should be reasonably the same size. You don't bring down people you don't like. Sure, IMH98. Go and ask what you want to ask. Go and ask. M Bonasi, how you doing? Hope you're okay. How are you? I think the thing is, Mark, right, is that I always get over it. I do get past it eventually, right? You know, you're right. Life is too short. My issue is that they don't let it go. So I said 4 or 5 months ago, I'm done with accessibility videos. Hey, Brandest. Right, I'm done with accessibility videos. Why do they keep returning to the topics? Why will they not let it go? I feel like I poured out my heart in that accessibility videos because I was deeply cut up those few days with all the negativity, pushback, criticism I got. With accessibility experts going, oh yeah, this and that. You know, I mean, when people call you a liar, right? I want you to just consider that right now, everyone here, right? Imagine someone else in the industry calling you a liar. Would you just let that one go? Right? Because it's not just like, because it's public. When you put anything on social media, it's there. Right? They could delete it, but no, they don't. It's there. And someone might read that and instantly, before knowing you, before watching your videos, before learning about you, they will make that conclusion that that person can't be trusted. They're a liar. They're a misleader. They're a cheat. They're the words that have been coming over to me in the last, where are we now? 24 hours now. In the last 24 hours. That is the pain I have felt for a while now. Frank, the best approach is to thank. Yeah, sorry, I've got to quickly read it. Yeah, exactly, Case. Because what I feel is what some people do is they will put me down to promote themselves, criticize to promote yourselves. And I do not work that way. I do not like to go down that road. I could quite easily do a video and go, "Oh my god, have you seen the 4 people that did a container video on how to make your buttons align? Aren't they fucking shit? What were they doing there? They were using loads of code snippets when all you had to do is hit the grow button to align your buttons. Why'd you do that? I don't need to do that. I don't need to put down to promote. I promote with me, with what I do and how I do things." Lex says, some people are saying that I do something wrong. I'm Dutch, so I don't mind the directness and then being open. Like I said, I can ask, what would you change? And then I can make a video about. Yeah, but Lex, it's very much down to how they do it. So what you're saying, yeah, is that like someone has said you're doing something wrong, right? Have you seen some of the comments? And I know you have. So let's not beat about the bush here, Lex, all right? I've seen people are sending me screenshots of shit that I really don't care about, but I have to care about it because it's dead obvious. So someone says something and then some other people react to it. Do you think that's the right way to do it? Because you're saying someone says to you you're doing something wrong. I have had Mark Harris tell me maybe I should have done something different. Artifa's told me something different. I've even had Elemental people tell me I should have done something different. I've done videos where I've done some CSS and someone said, "Why don't you just use that setting?" And I was like, "Oh crap, I didn't think of that. I overlooked that." And you learn from it. I've had people in my comments who go, "What about this other way?" And I go, yeah, someone did it with a video I did last week where they actually put a smaller bit of code. And I've said, well done to them. They've said, they put in the comment, this is a better way. And they had a better code. And I was like, oh my God, they're right. Well done to them. So it's the way you do it. But if you do it in a sneaky way where you are indirect, but you know exactly what you're doing because you're putting down, basically it's like, you know what it's like? You're in an office, right? And people are talking, right? And they're talking about, I'll tell you what, I'll give you an example, right? Okay. No, I won't give you an example. It won't make sense because you have to be in the NHS to understand it. But people put you down to make their point. And quite frankly, I would say if like you could have learnt and done it differently and they approach you in like they go, "Hey, Imran," or they email you. Here's the other thing, right? Okay. Um, let's just say, and I would love all of you to give me your opinion of this, right? Let's say one of you does a video about let's just say one of you does a video about I don't know, God, I can't think now. The elementals, no, global colors and global typography. In Elemental, you have 2 checkboxes, right, in the settings. And I always say that you should untick the font, but tick the color. Oh, no, it's the other way around. I always forget this. I have to double remind myself, right? And you go and say tick both. I might email you back and go, have you considered XYZ? Right? I would go direct to you, but I would do it in a nice way. What I wouldn't do is take what you've done and then stick it on social media and say something like, I wouldn't name you. So let's pretend I'm talking about Dennis, right? I wouldn't name you Dennis, but I'd be like, why are some people so dumb? Why do people not learn? Why do people not ask the elemental expert about what box to check? How can you be so fucking foolish that you go and tick both of them? Don't you understand? Have you not researched enough that you tick this, this happens, you tick that, that happens? I would not go down that road because I've brought you into the equation without naming you. What I would do instead is let you know, and then you make your own opinion and your own mind up, and you might have justification for what you do, and I may learn something from it. What I wouldn't do is put out a video or a social media comment putting you down. Because when you find out about that, Dennis, by the way, Dennis hasn't done this, because when Dennis, let's pretend, finds out about that, a screenshot, how do you think Dennis would feel? How do you think Dennis would feel? Because it's so fucking obvious I'm talking about Dennis, but I didn't name him, but it happens to come out within 24 hours of like Dennis doing that. Do you understand what I mean? And what Steve has just said there is the exact fucking point I keep making. Whingers, weak people, cowards. Rather than saying, here's for the settings, this is what I would do, they have to go and put down to promote themselves. Do you get what I mean? And that's why I get quite fired up by it. That's why I get really irritated. Because you would think they would learn from now. You would think that they would learn. And I have spoken to some of these people like a year ago saying, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? Why'd you keep attacking in this way? If you want to do your own videos about accessibility on how to build, let me tell you now, I have said to some people that, why have you not created a hero banner that ticks every accessibility box? Why have you not created a homepage video that ticks every accessibility box so that we can all learn? So that it stops us going wrong, because whatever we do ain't good enough. We are not worthy. We are not good enough. So stop shitting on us and do your own video. Have they done one yet? Have they done one? I'm talking about all the accessibility experts out there right now, and there's quite a lot of them, okay? They go to the workshops, they're on the conferences. Whenever there's like a summit, they'll be there doing their talk. But you know what? Do you know what? They're not going to tell you what to do. No. Fuck that. They want to put you in a sales funnel so that you book them to then make your website accessible. But how do you even know they can? How do you even know they can? Because they said they can, but have they ever done a full-blown video? And you know what? A few people, sometimes they do a video, right? They do the odd little bit. And then when they test the accessibility and it's not accessible fully, you know what they say? Oh, it's the page builder. It's the page builder's fault. So I'm going to create a video on how to make an elemental page that is accessible. But then when I get to the end, it won't be fully accessible because of the page builder. Well, fuck you. Why did you make me watch a video on how to make Elementor accessible, how to make Divi accessible, how to make bricks accessible if you can't fucking do it? That is the point. So I will do what I do as much as I can. I will try to help people as much as I can. Accessibility videos are a tiny percentage of what I do. I don't get everything right with code snippets. I don't get everything right with hero banners. I don't get everything right with how to do your wireframe. I don't get everything right with how to do AI. Okay? You know, AI me duck. I ain't right. I mean, people were talking about AI, 100 years ago. AI. Okay? I can't get everything right. But I'll do my damn best to get as much done as much as I can. Because I would like to think that people watching are going to learn. Needs to learn. Right, let me just double check some of the comments because I've really just been over mouthing off a bit. IMH says, I'm focusing on targeting coaches or trainers who can sell their courses online. Do you think it will be easy to convince them compared to any local business? Well, it depends on what you can offer, my friend. So, like automated booking, Zoom classes, it depends on what you're offering. So, and then it all depends on what do the coach and trainer want. Maybe coaches do weight training. So could they have like animated GIFs and videos? So you don't have to have a full-blown video, but you could have a looping animated GIF that shows them how to do their, their triceps or whatever and stuff. So I would always say IMH98, and don't take this the wrong way, yeah. when people, and when I say people, I mean not just you, but lots of people, when they ask me this question, I always feel like you should know the answer. You shouldn't be asking me because I don't know what your business model is. I don't know what you can and can't do. I don't know what you can build or not build. How would you work it through? So, I would say that you need to work out what are your benefits you're going to offer them and then package that up. No, you are right, Phil. And that's the issue I have. Keyboard warriors. Keyboard warriors that just want to stoke the fire. Now, when I get comments from random people, I don't really care, right? So let's say someone called, oh my God, Joe Blogs comes along, right? And he makes a comment, oh, Imran, I don't like your video. Today, someone said to me, why are you faking your accent? I was like, huh? What the fuck? Why are you faking your accent? They said. I was like, huh? I mean, sometimes my accent does jump between northern and southern because I've moved around places, but I don't really overthink it. I just go, yeah, whatever, right, move on, right? But when you have the same people, the same experts, whether it's Elementor, WordPress, Bricks, accessibility, whatever, okay, Pepsi Max, putting you down, you would like to think that experts or professionals are better than that. When someone random just comes along and I don't really know them, I don't know enough about them, so I just kind of move on. You forget about it. But when it is like a professional or an expert or someone who has, I'm just going to dip the lights a little bit because I feel like they're a bit bright on my face at the moment, just a bit. You would like to think that they know better. Or like, you made your point. You made your point 6 months ago. Move on. Because I haven't done an accessibility video in months. Months and months and months. You're the one bringing it up. You're the one bringing it to the table again. Like a flipping fucking Dungeons and Dragons game. Like, I thought I killed the boss. No, you got to play with them again. I just find it sad. Pathetic. I know, faking my accent happens, mate. It happens. Thanks very much, Jooms, for your comment, by the way. Hey, Robert, what? No, by the way, Robert, your video comes out tomorrow. So Robert did a code snippet. Robert, don't talk about what you did yet. Let's leave it as a surprise for tomorrow. It's a pretty neat little plugin as an add-on for Elementor. Some will like it, some may not like it, but I think more of you are going to like it, okay? So stick around with that. Carapos, please speak with your real accent, not with AI accent. What? What is this? What the heck is all this? Imran, could you one day try to speak Dutch? I don't even know how to say no. How do you say no in Dutch? Nay? How do you say no in Dutch? I can't be bothered to check. Like, I've got the internet open here. I can't be bothered to check it. How do you say no? Nee. 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 How do you even say hello in Dutch? It's one of those things, right, where you know, bonjour, guten tag, salut, guten morgen, ik bin, hast du, bist du. How do you say hello? Hoi. Hello. Well, that was easy. Hoi. I'm sure Ferdy has probably said it and Reno, and I've probably never registered it, and I've heard it, and I know it, but I haven't remembered it, right? The thing is, though, Frank, right? Okay, so the Frank is the thing is, though, Palav, I don't really speak Hindi or Urdu. I don't. I'm rubbish at it. And the reason I'm rubbish at it is because I can't see any point in speaking it. And I used to get criticized by my family a lot when I was younger, okay? Um, and I would always say to them as a youngster, I don't need to speak Hindi or Urdu to earn money to live my life. And I'm going to be really controversially offensive here now, so I hope I don't get cancelled. But a lot of people in my family that haven't bothered to learn English properly in the last 40, 50 years is not my fucking problem, quite frankly, right? Because if I lived in France, you know, I'm pretty sure I would have learnt it within a couple of years, right? So I don't care, all right? I really, really don't care. I haven't bothered. And my son, he knows the odd few words because, you know, my mum and dad and, you know, whenever, you know, they might speak it and he's learned a few words. But again, he's of the same mind as well. Don't care. Why do I need to learn it? Even he said it to me. I didn't say to him. He literally was like, no, my wife said to him, do you ever want to learn? Do you ever want to learn the language? Because he was repeating a word he'd heard someone said. And she was like, do you want to learn it? And he was like, why do I need to learn it? What is he going to get out of it? Right? Right? What's he going to get out of it? So no, so sorry, pal, I'm not going to speak any of that at the moment. Australian. I think the only thing I know in Australian is "G'day, mate. I don't give a Castlemania Forex." No, that sounded more like "G'day, mate. G'day, Castlemania Forex, Sheila." Right. So I've lost my train of thought now of what I was talking about today. Well, I know what I was talking about, but I've lost my slight train of thought. I've lost my train of thought. But yeah, so yeah, professionals, right? I just feel like I just feel like some people need to grow up, all right? And when you have respected people who, whenever there's like a conference or a talk, say at WordCamp or press conference or other places, what was it called? The recent page builder event. Oh, I can't remember now. Recent page builder event. Which one is it? Oh, I can't remember now. You have the same accessibility experts turning up, and they've been around for a long time. They're always going to be there. When they can't shut the fuck up with putting people down to make their point, it's annoying. Like if you go to I'm not going to put it up, but if you go to the video I did on YouTube where I said I'm done with accessibility now, in fact, I'll probably tell you, no, I won't share it. Um, a comment came in today, a very big comment. And it's just very like, is that the best you can do to promote? Like, look at all the elemental videos I do, right? Look at all the elemental videos I do, okay? Okay, here's a really good example, okay? I did the WebP converter tool. Elemental have their own AI image tool. I feel like my tool does things differently. Does that mean then I go and criticize Elemental? Or I criticize bulkresizePhotos.com? Or I criticize TinyPNG? Right? Do I close all of that? I've just got to do something on my phone here a moment. Doot. Oh, hold on. I've just got to click something here. There we go. Hold on. There we go. Cool. Right? Or if I did a video on a font clamp calculator, does that then mean I will criticize everyone else? No. You do you and respect what other people have done, whether I like, dislike, agree, or disagree with it. Shall I tell you what phrase I hate the most? And I hear this quite a bit. So one person did DM me directly about accessibility. And this is how stupid the conversation got. I tried to explain to him that there is often, not a right or wrong answer, right? Okay. And I did what I wanted to do, and people need to just, get over it. Okay. Um, I said, like, it's like cheeseburger. You either like it or you don't like it. But if I want to eat a cheeseburger, let me eat it. They then said to me, cheeseburger is a really bad example because cheeseburgers aren't even 100% meat. I then went on to ChatGPT and Google. Guess what? The beef patty is 100% meat. I then let them know. And you know what they said to me? We have to agree to disagree. No, we do not agree to disagree. ChatGPT and Google have all confirmed, because this has been a rumor, that McDonald's cheeseburger beef patties are 100% meat. There's nothing to agree to disagree. But people, they're looking for a fight. They're always looking for an argument. They're always looking for conflict. Stir the pot. Anyway. No, but you know what I mean, Phil. I mean, come on, right? There's been enough research on it, because I literally said I did deep research. I didn't say to ChatGPT, what is it? I literally hit deep research. So it went through all the sources, and it showed that there's been research and studies. It's 100% meat. Are you doing a video on just a one or both? What do you mean, a video on one or both? Oh, sorry, Robert. Yeah. I'm only doing a video at the moment on the elemental top bar. So you know what I mean, okay? It's my elemental top bar. Beatrice, please let me know your opinion. Are blogging pages still attractive? Yeah, I think they are. I think blogging let me get this right. So blogging is a great way to lead people back to your website. So you do a post about something and then you stick it on social media or whatever, and then hopefully people are gonna watch it. And sorry, why did I say watch? I think I'm feeling a bit tired. They will hopefully click it and go to your website. Google will see that and they'll like it, SEO and all of that. So it's a great way of building another magnets in a way. So think of your blog post as a magnet to attract people back to your website, kind of thing. Yeah, McDonald's, 100% beef. Beef, meat. What I mean, right, is they have no evidence. This person, so I sent them links, and they could not send a single link back to me to show that it's not. To be honest, right, even if it was 80% meat, that's still good to me, right? Do you get what I mean? It's still meat at the end of the day, kind of thing. It's as good as. It's not like it's vegetable, right? It's not like it's like Linda McCartney steak and kidney pie, which was as good as having water. Linda McCartney pies were like drinking water. It was like gravy with stuff inside, which never ever really made sense. Yep, you're right as well on that, Mark. You are right. I mean, you could in a way do videos as well, and then have the blog post which contains the text, maybe some other stuff as well, images and a video as well. I mean, if you're asking, is TikTok and YouTube and Instagram Reels more powerful? Unfortunately, with the younger generation, yes. Because I think people prefer to watch than to read now, especially the younger generation. But I wouldn't let that stop you from still doing blog posts, because I think things always go in circles. So there may be a push towards videos now, but then in 5 years' time, people will come back onto reading more, because eventually just watching videos can get a bit boring. Sometimes we just want to read stuff as well. So things do go in circles. Dennis would rather make his own burger. Oh, I'm too lazy. I mean, I do sometimes make my own burgers, but sometimes, you know, when your son is upset, it's quite easy to cheer them up when you go over to McDonald's, right? Um, or if you're doing loads of stuff, you're doing loads of stuff. I mean, I make my own pizzas, mainly because I use keto bread, keto bread, which is like, oh, tons of protein and hardly any carbs in it, like 2 grams of carbs. That's how, it's not even that. zero point 0.7. Sorry, got that wrong. 0.7. No, the bread is zero point 0.7. The wrap is 2 grams of carbs, but it's like 18 grams of protein per wrap. So sometimes I use a wrap. They're like ultra thin, so it's super thin. Bit of sauce, cheese, jalapeno peppers, either chicken or beef kind of thing. You know, um, oh, makes me hungry just thinking about that pizza now. Makes me hungry. In fact, tonight, I think I will have. What am I going to eat tonight? What will I have tonight? It's got to be meaty. So, what will I have tonight? I could do an omelette. Omelette sometimes is quite boring. No, James, not pineapples. Not pineapples. Too much sugar in them. Yeah, burger. Haven't done a no. Oh, I have done a burger 2 weeks ago. I was gonna say I haven't, but I did. So what I did, Mark, right, and this is gonna you're gonna love this, right? From Iceland, they have like a cheeseburger, right? Not the cheeseburger burger, but it's a packet of 4, and it's like a double layer of burger with the cheese inside. I got one of them and another one, so I literally had 4 beef patties with 3 layers of cheese. Damn, that was cool. Hey Eddie, how you doing? Good to see you here. Hansler, you love the content. Can you tell how to ask clients questions where he cannot fully explain his requirements? So Hansler, if you go over to the learn.websquadron.co.uk website, I've got a sales pack which has the questions and other stuff you can ask where you really want to drum home what are the benefits to them, what are they going to get out of this, what does it mean for them and their family and their business, and it could help you to steer them towards a particular pricing or a proposal. So you may want to go and check that out. It is $2. The reason why I'm not going to say it here, Hanslow, is because I've done this to death, and I feel like everything you need is going to be inside of that $2 pack. Frank feels like chicken tonight. Chicken tonight. Yep. This is going to be a cooking channel. Yeah, well, you never know. See, I love my beef. I love my chicken. The only fish I'll eat is either tuna or, like haddock or cod. Stuff like that. I don't like fish cakes anymore. I always find fish cakes like, it always confuses my mouth when you eat a fish cake because they're so brittle, aren't they, when they hit your mouth. Cauliflower with cheese. Now, I don't like cauliflower, Beatrice. So I've tried cauliflower rice. I don't like it. But guess what? On Amazon, I've now got keto pasta. The keto pasta is like 18, 19 grams of protein per 50 grams, right? And 2 grams of carbs. So when I put 100 grams of pasta, right, it's 4 grams of carbs and 38 grams of protein. It's like durum wheat or whatever, right? But it's the taste is amazing. The taste is really, really good. If you were to go back 10 years ago, durum wheat was very cardboardy, right? But this keto pasta, which gets imported from, I think it's either Italy or Germany. It gets imported from somewhere. It is good. Like, wicked. Right? Wicked. All right? And when you add in a little bit of like jalfrezi sauce, right? A little bit, right? In total, that's going to work out to be about 12 grams of carbs. Ish. No, it's not 12. That's wrong. That's actually wrong. It's going to be about 10 in total, right? And then you add in your cheese, a bit of cheese on top, right? Your jalapenos and your sauce, and obviously the pasta. It's close to like 40 grams of protein and high fat as well because of the cheese. But on the keto diet, that's what I need, baby. That's what we're talking. What time is it? It's 20 to 3. That's what I'm talking about. I've been live for 1 hour, 5 minutes. I'll probably jump off in a bit soon anyway. Let's just check some of the comments. Phil says, have any of us reduced prices because of AI? Nope, I have not. In fact, I've increased my prices. Every year, I increase my prices by a bit. Just because everyone else does, so why can't we? Kind of thing. And once you increase your price, you stick at it. Right? You don't try to make excuses for why you increased your price. Or, someone says, I can't afford it. Fine. You can't afford it. What can you afford? And I'll work to that, or I'll cut back on certain things. But if we've said there's a price, there is a price. Barrycal. Barrycal. Is that is that where I no, I don't think that's the one I got. In fact, no, I'll tell you which one I got. I'm gonna just load it up on Amazon, right? So hold on a moment. I'm gonna load it up on Amazon and I'm gonna tell you. Amazon. I hate logging. I really do hate logging into Amazon sometimes because, like, especially when it says enter in your passkey and then it goes passkey and then it goes through and blah 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 blah. Right, let me just go on to my Amazonian. Where is it? Fusely. There you go. It's Fusely. Right now, this is not cheap. Okay, I'm going to tell you now. Anyone that looks at this and goes, "Oh my god, how much?" Just go with me on this, right? So here it is. Okay. So this is £22, 700 grams, right? That gives me 7 meals because you get 14 bags, and one meal really needs to be 2 bags. So I'm paying £30, right? Okay, for this, right? And if you look at, let me just zoom in on, let me just expand on this. Okay, here we go. Right, can you see this properly? So carbohydrates, right? 4 grams, okay? Which is 8 if you have 2 bags. But the protein, 18! 18 grams! And 142 calories, right? And 2 bags of that is enough for a meal, okay? I'm telling you, right, this is enough for a meal. Let's just jump out of this, right? So I know £22 for 7 meals, technically, because you're going to get 7 pasta meals out of this, does sound like a lot. But if you care about how many carbohydrates you got, if you're diabetic, if you're trying to lower your your sugars and all of that, I would rather pay that, because I would rather have that than not have to worry about eating other pasta, which is just going to make your tummy explode. Right, anyway. Mark's been using Gemini 2.5. Do you also watch for the sugars? Yep, I do. I do. Which is, I mean, look, Pepsi Max has sweeteners, okay? I know that. And I know people are going to criticize or whatever about you drink Pepsi Max and all of this stuff, right? I get that. I get it. But I'd rather have this than a sugary drink. I don't like to drink orange juices or stuff that I've got sugar in. I don't like to, if I'm going to have rice, I like to have less rice and I will have more meat, kind of thing. If I have a burger, like I got the the new McDonald's Big Arch burger. You know the new one, right? In fact, let's get a picture of it. Let's get a picture of the Big Arch burger, right? Right. So, right, here we go. Right. So we are definitely turning into the cookery channel. Okay. So let's get this open over here. Right. So if I was to get the Big Arch burger, right, I'll get it. But I say I will have it with no lettuce. I hate lettuce in burgers. Why do you want to make your burger wet? Why do you want to make it wet? I don't want a wet burger. I don't want a crunchy burger. I want a burger that is meat. I want the meat in my mouth. I don't want a crunchy wet, but like no. I want the meat, you know. I want to feel it in my mouth. Right? I want the meat, right? So no lettuce. I will also not have the crunchy onion, and I will also have no onion because they have carbs. I will have the sauce that's got carbs, but I want the burger, I want the cheese, I want the fat, I want the protein. Keto diet. Look it up. KETO. Look it up. Look it up. You'll love me for it. I'm telling you. You won't love me for it. You'll probably think, what a twat. But anyway, that's the keto diet, the big arch. And the burger bit, the baps, you know what I do with the baps? I give them to my wife. I go, here you go, do what you want with them. And because the baps have some sauce on them still, she'll take it, put some chips in there, maybe put a chicken nugget in there, and she'll do what she wants with it. I don't really care. Throw it in the bin. I don't care. But I won't have the baps. I don't need the carbs, right? Because that on its own, those, yeah, with some nuggets or whatever as well. When I used to get triple cheeseburger from McDonald's, because did you know McDonald's have stopped serving the triple cheeseburger? Did you know they've stopped saying it? Mark Harris. No, did you know they've stopped serving the triple cheeseburger? Like, I love those. So I will get 2 triple cheeseburgers and I take the bread off, right? So I now have meat burgers. I mean, the triple cheeseburger is a burger, but is a burger within a burger. Burger with the stuff inside, but a triple cheeseburger is a burger within the burger. And when you have that, I'm telling you, without the bread, it is nice. Nice. Ham and lettuce wrap. I think a wrap is different, Phil. I think they're right. It's almost different. But when I have a big burger, I just don't want the lettuce. Just want the lettuce. Right, everyone, I'm going to jump off now. It's been good fun. I really do need to go. My son will be home soon, and I just want to wrap up a few things because I've had a very productive day. And I just have to, yeah, I just need to sort a few things out. I'm sorry, okay? Look, today I've gone on a really big rant about how I feel about accessibility experts, people that put you down because they want to put themselves up. Why they just can't let it go. Whatever I said or did, I didn't mean it. I just want them to know, let it go. All right? So why can't they move on? And I'll tell you why they can't move on. Because they got no one else to blame. So some people like to have someone they hate so they can keep chucking stuff at them. But what they need to do is move on. Develop and create videos and solutions that show us what to do. Right? I'm still waiting for a proper video on how to build an elemental page that ticks all the boxes for accessibility. Maybe I'll see one tomorrow and I will watch it. And if I like it, I will let people know about it. But, you know, I don't like talkers that talk the talk. Walk the walk. Prove it. Show it. Do it. All right, everyone. I'm going to say goodbye now. I'm going to jump off. It's been really good fun. Take care. See you soon. Don't forget to smash the like button.